One of the stories that caught our attention, really interesting, is that tornado swept through in Appleton, Neenah, and Menasha. There were 80 people that rode it out inside a church in Neenah, a church that also hosts a child care center. And so these were church staff, these were child care center staff, children, all of them emerging unhurt. The church itself sustained what they call significant damage, though. But again, nobody inside injured. So we've got a couple of guests here joining us via Zoom. Alanna Smith from the church. Tiffany, is it Sultz from the Lake Edge Learning Center? Sultz?
Sultz.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I appreciate you both joining us here. You're outside the church right now, and I've seen some of the pictures here. The damage is significant, damage to the building itself, but more than 20 large trees lost and debris everywhere. I mean, what do we, you're frozen up a little bit here. I know, obviously, cell phone service in that area is going to continue to be a little bit difficult considering what we've gone through. What can you show us about the damage to the building and to the grounds around the church?
We had damage to our windows. We had trees through our windows and through the roof. Our steeple window fell in over our sanctuary, and we probably had well over 50 trees that were taken down from the storm.
Wow.
They say that they can save probably 7 of our trees.
Yeah, so it's a big mess. But the good news here is, again, roughly 80 people that were inside. Tell us who was all in the church when the tornado came through and what that experience was like.
Yeah, Alanna and one of her staff members from the church were present during the time, and they were a great help to our team. We had a little over 60 children in the building at the moment, and I would say about 15, 16 staff members, all accounted for. They did exactly what we had practiced so many times, which allowed us to have a completely injury-free tornado run here. But the building is just a building to us. Our vision, our mission has always remained the same, and safety and wellness of the children is what's most important.
The church echoes all of that.
Yeah, absolutely. What was that experience like, though, as that storm came through? Obviously sheltering, so no one's looking out the windows. You got to be away from that. What was the sensation? What could you hear? I mean, what were you able to see, if anything at all?
So the day started out pretty normally. I mean, it was a normal day for us as a nature center, and we went for a walk and we saw osprey and pelicans leaving the island. We did nature walks, and right around lunchtime, we got not a tornado warning, a thunderstorm warning. That prompted us to seek shelter. Alanna joined our team and hopped in and grabbed a baby, sat down with us. We have some pretty incredible teachers who are playing some music. So the children were unaware that the sirens were going off. We even had one of our staff members who was able to lull all the 2-year-olds to sleep in shelter at their normal nap time and woke up after everything happened. What we heard, we had ears popping and the building rumbling, but
wind coming through the windows, but no damage coming through those windows, just the pressure from the outdoors. And it was just very surreal. It was something never seen before.
I mean, what did it sound like to you? I mean, obviously, there's you hear the windows breaking or debris flying. I mean, and there's always that. And I've been around some tornadoes through the years. I haven't seen one, but I've been in the vicinity of them, because a lot of times you can't see them the way that these storms are. But what did it sound like? You hear that, sounds like a train. I mean, what did it sound like to you?
I'll be honest, the kids were loud, and my focus was so much on the kids that I didn't even hear anything. I felt the pressure. I felt the wind coming through, but I never heard anything because I didn't have any. I was just in mode of keeping those kids safe.
Mm-hmm.
Same with me. I mean, honestly, we had our teacher, Mr. Jack, he brought his ukulele with into our little area, and we were singing songs that whole time as loudly as we could to distract the children and make sure that they remained calm, and that's exactly what happened. And some of them were completely unaware that a tornado had even happened until their parents were able to pick them up several hours later.
That's remarkable. And then, you know, I know this, what was the duration then that you had to take that shelter? And then at what point did you go outside and realize what had happened?
I was the main contact. So Alanna and I, after everything calmed down, we sheltered at 11:30. Everything was over about 12:10, 12:15, but they remained sheltered in place until pickup, which some kids didn't get picked up till 6:30 at night. But I went outside and I was grabbing parents as they came down the road. They had to park 12 plus blocks away, and they were just running to the center to pick up their children.
What happens now?
I would say it was about
go ahead.
12:45 before we actually got outdoors to make sure everything was safe. We before we could get up and make sure that the property was safe for the kids to even move out of the shelter area.
So
yeah.
What happens now? Obviously, there's a lot of work to be done with your property. Obviously, you've got to, you know, find other facilities for the center and for worship, but at the same time, trying to help other people going through the same things. I mean, how do you balance getting the help you need and giving the help that others need?
Well, the church, we have someone calling all of our members, especially those that live on the island or in Menasha, Appleton area, making sure everybody is safe. We have people going out and helping them clear their yards and get them what they need, and giving them shelter as well. As far as the church goes, we are kind of in the hands of the companies and our insurance company, waiting for us to get the go-ahead to get the trees out. And until the big trees, we had 100-year-old trees that have fallen on the building, on the power lines, everywhere, the playground. And until those big trees can be removed, we can't actually have volunteers on the property until we know that there is no harm to come from the trees falling once again.
Wow.
Yeah.
And as far as Lake Edge goes, our center was actually already in the process of looking for a building. And this tragic event just kind of speedballs that. And the way that people can help us most is financially getting that new space ready and prepared so that we have minimal interruption to these children's care.
Lastly, I'm going to let you go here in a second, but lastly, I just want to ask, and this is about you and about others that you know around you. How are you doing? Are you okay?
Oh,
There's a question that brings the waterworks.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I don't mean to do that. I just, you know, I mean, that's
No,
obviously something in these situations where, you know,
okay.
Emotions and mental health are forefront.
Yes, we're hanging in there. We're sticking to the community because that's the mission of both the church and Lake Edge, helping wherever we can, as much as we can, and trying to take care of ourselves along the way.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty surreal here. It's to see what was, the island was covered with trees, 100-year-old trees, and they're all gone.
And historic homes.
It's just, every time I drive into work, I just cry the entire way. It's surreal.
Alanna and Tiffany, thank you so much for your time. Best wishes. I mean, it might sound hollow to say that, I mean, in something like this, but I mean, truly, everybody's thinking about you and everybody else there trying to recover from this.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Appreciate it. Wow. It's just amazing, the devastation there, and how long it's going to take to clean up, and it'll never look the same. It'll be a long time before it looks, you know, you go through areas. I remember going through, say, St. Peter. You know, there was a tornado there in early '99, and, you know, for years, you drive through downtown St. Peter, for example, and you can tell because all these young trees. I remember the tornado that went through parts of North Minneapolis, and you could see those neighborhoods. They looked different for a long time because of just the way the landscape and the tree canopy and everything that had changed. So those scars remain, but hopefully the resilience comes to the top. We're going to